tubs, which takes all the fun out of the
Oh,
conversation.
yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah, Rick had one of the coolest bathrooms I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Oh, it was just awesome.
Sure, of course.
And he had this shower that would make thunderstorms, so it's like you're taking a shower with a
Really?
thunderstorm. It was cool as that.
Yeah, I'm
No.
sure that's true.
Yeah.
Yes,
Brian Clark last night.
yeah.
He had this bathroom, not quite like that, but legit this size.
Yeah.
This
Oh.
shower.
Yeah.
Like, not quite as big.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
same way.
obnoxious, like,
Yeah,
obnoxious. He said, I got 60 grand. And what, you got what?
yeah, that's how this.
In the shower?
Yeah.
If you got it, enjoy
Yeah.
it. If you got it.
I mean, this thing had
Absolutely.
shower heads on top,
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
like 4 on top.
I'm sure it's more fulfilling than my crappy tubs around.
Yeah,
Right.
there's mine both.
All right, here we go, gents.
It's good to be nervous.
Now, you see, they left that switch in the wrong place again, but I caught it this time.
Oh, yeah?
This is the delay. If I start talking and I hear myself 10 seconds later,
Okay.
Yeah.
it ain't pretty.
Uh-oh.
It ain't pretty.
Then I watched
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Jet Radio 1400. This is the Catania
Watch us
Chronicles. Sam, I'm
Watch
going to
for
guess,
comments.
is this show number 60?
I knew it. You knew that.
How about that?
You knew that.
Not bad.
You knew that. Catania Chronicles, show number 60. We've been on for a little over a year now, and our typical show is on Wednesdays,
Right.
but we've been adding a show here and there,
Mhm.
2 or 3 a week, potentially. Our show's on Wednesday, but the other days is completely dependent upon the guest I'm having on. If they can only do a Monday or a Tuesday, a Thursday, or a
Well,
Friday.
you've got some busy folks among your guests,
Yeah.
too. They're not hanging around all day waiting to go on the radio.
Right, absolutely. So, and I've been trying to get this guest on for a long time. But before we get to that, I want to open this show by thanking my employees, my staff, because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have the independence or the freedom to be here.
Mhm.
So, Sam Catania Painting, 814-866-2600. And today's special guest, bring the mic closer to you, about a fist away.
There he is.
Okay.
There it is.
Oh, you're perfect now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Did you know you're perfect? I'm
He was
telling you.
perfect.
That's the only time I've heard him. I'm gonna write this name down.
It's a
Write
fact.
it down.
This is why people come to Jet right now.
Can I have your autograph? We have pen and paper here. So, this is Jeff Smickers with an M, not the candy bar.
That's right.
Smickers with an
Instead of
M
Snicker, yeah.
instead of Snickers.
Yeah.
And he is another painting contractor. He's a competitor. We are competitors, and he owns JKS Finishes. Jeff, how'd you get the name? How'd you come up with that name?
Well, it's just the initials for me and my wife, so it's
There you
Jeff
go.
and Kathy Smicker.
There you
I
go.
wanted to know what the K stood for. I never
Yep,
asked you
Her
that.
name's Kathy.
I thought it was your middle name or something.
No?
All right,
No.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
You look really good.
Yeah,
You look-
likewise.
You look
Likewise.
great.
You look good and healthy
Wow.
and strong as an ox.
We're always trying to fight each other.
Yeah, we always do.
It gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
I always come in second place, though.
It's better than third.
Well, that's true.
So, I posted on tons of social media platforms about this show, asking everybody if they're ever curious. You ever curious if other painting contractors get along, or do you guys just avoid each other because it's a tense situation?
Yeah.
You and I, by the way, shout out to Dustin Brummagem. He said, tell him I said hi.
Oh,
So,
hi, Dustin.
there you go, Smick.
How you doing, man?
I
But
mean,
it's cool that, so I'm gonna test your memory, and I'm sure you'll remember this. Catania Painting Second Generation opened in this month, March 21st, 2006.
Wow.
And on 18th and Peach, Sherwin-Williams, I went in there to get paint, and you stopped me. Do you remember this?
I think I vaguely do. I don't remember exactly what I said, but
I can tell you word for word verbatim, all the details, all the information. It was an optimistic, positive, incredible conversation, and it woke me up coming out of the gates.
Good.
And you stopped me and you introduced yourself, and you knew who I was, and you said you knew Dad.
Yeah, I respect it.
Yeah.
Good guy.
And you were teaching me about inflation, about the market, and about pricing, and your dad was always too low. His prices were
Yeah.
just killing the market. We still have some of those out there right now.
Yeah, we
Some
do.
companies that
They're
are too
always
low,
out, they're
Yeah.
always
killing the
out there,
market.
yep, always will be.
And you
The
had a
low
long,
ballers.
you had a long talk with me, and I remember this. And ever since then, I just grabbed on, and I said, anything you can tell me, I'm gonna run with it. And we've been in touch ever since.
Yeah, yeah.
You just told me, gave me a lot of information, said, you know, basically study the market, find out where it's at, raise your prices.
Right,
You know, it's not worth working this hard to not make a profit.
Right.
yeah, and that's what the bottom line is all about.
Yeah, charge a fair price, but, you know,
Right.
fair to you too.
Correct.
That's one of the things that, it's a business lesson that a lot of people never learn.
And it's awesome because you haven't only helped me, you've been helping, you still help me. You've
Yeah.
been helping me, I've been in business 17 years,
It's hard
and
to
you
believe.
are still
Yeah.
helping.
Yeah,
And I said, why the
Yeah.
hell are you still helping me? You know?
Yeah,
And
like
you
I
always
said-
say, cause I'm open-minded, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to listen.
and there's always been plenty of work out there, but I really respected your dad, and I wanted to see you,
That's awesome.
you know, actually kind of for him and for you to see if you're gonna work and be successful. And I saw early on, Sam had a lot of hard knocks, and I saw he was a fighter.
Yeah.
He's not a quitter. I respected that about him. Good, just a good person. You know, you can read people's personalities, and he's just
Sure.
a good soul.
Sure.
We have a lot of fun joking around.
Oh, we do,
but,
we do, we have
yeah.
fun. Oh my God.
So there's always been plenty of work out in the market.
There really
For
is.
people that know what they're doing and service their customers and pay attention to their customers, they're always successful.
Yeah, but it's such a good thing when competitors respect each other. I mean, you don't have to, you know, give each other your secrets and your clients, but when you respect each other, it's like, I don't think, at this point in time, I don't think I have an enemy in radio in this town. I don't think there's one person out there saying that SOB should be off the air, he has no talent.
Right.
I mean, I'm better than they are, but they're still my
Yeah,
friends.
right,
you know?
right.
You know?
Somebody's gotta be on top.
Somebody's gotta be, but when you are in the same field, those conversations, and the jokes you can make, and the insights you can get
Yeah,
are priceless, you know, in those conversations.
yeah.
And you've given me, I mean, we go deeper, I mean, you've given me some awesome tips over the years. I've asked you, why are you doing it? You said, just do it the right way. Do
Yeah.
it the right way, here's the advice.
Yeah, I wanna see you become successful and make money and make a profit. And like you said, there's always been lowball competition in the market, but if you produce a good product and treat your customers fair, you'll be successful.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really difficult to compete with the low ball.
It is.
We know the names, we know who we're talking about.
Right.
It's not that they're giving you a great price, it's they're giving you such a good price that they have to cut corners to get the job done
Exactly.
within a
Right,
certain amount of
right.
hours.
Yeah.
Then they're walking home with nothing in their pocket.
Right.
Exactly, and you know, I always compare, you know, low ballers in any field. I always think about it in terms of burgers, like, okay, go out and get the cheapest burger you can get, and tell me how good it is.
Right.
You know, not that they consciously want to give you a bad product, but they put themselves in this narrow space where that's really all they can offer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so if this is your first time getting that burger, or your first time getting your house painted or whatever,
Yeah.
you might be like, oh, well, why not go with them? And then over the years, you'll notice things.
Right, right, especially exterior. 60% of our work is prep.
Mhm.
So if you aren't doing the prep, obviously you can be a lot lower in price.
Yeah.
And so you can either prep a job right and do a nice prep job, which means a nice finished paint job,
Mhm.
or you can lowball it and skip corners and paint over dirt or mold. And especially in the exterior, you can do it right and have a 10-year or 15-year paint job, or do a quick, cheap job and it lasts 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and
So where are you really ahead in the long run?
yes, and I mean, paint, a good job just, not only is it more durable, but it just ages better.
Right.
Yeah, sure, it won't look the same in 10 years as it did the day you got it painted, but it will look a lot better because of that prep work
Right.
and the quality of the products.
And it'll hold up. So
And it'll hold
it
up.
won't fail, and it was a big thing in art, you know how extreme our environment is.
Yes, and that's very true.
I want to throw a shout out to Dan Newcomer. Dan Newcomer, thanks for continuing to support us. He's another painting contractor. We
Mhm.
really get along well.
Very cool.
And you brought up some good points, and I tell customers, if you're, all right, great example. Last week, I got a phone call for an exterior estimate. They said it was painted this long ago. They did a good job.
Mhm.
And he told me who the company was. He said XYZ painted it. I said, oh, I can't even compete with their pricing. I
Right.
give you a price, it's going to be extreme sticker shock. Then there's a potential that you're gonna trash Catania painting throughout the town. They're so high, we're not high, they were low.
Correct, right.
Yeah, and JKS Finishes, how do they get a hold of you? You're out of Waterford, how do they get a hold of you? What's your phone number?
814-796-6365.
Yeah, we were talking off air, you are very near my childhood home, so
Yeah.
if you want to,
Walking distance.
if you really want to sound Waterford, you go, oh, the old Agway.
Yeah,
That's the most
exactly.
Waterford thing you can say right
That's
there.
it.
That's where we are, with
There
the
it
big
is.
Waterford sign on the side of the building.
That's right, yeah, absolutely.
Still there.
And people ask me, customers do, they ask me about your pricing and your work, and I say, you can't beat it. His prices are where they should be. It allows them to do the job as thoroughly as possible. I mean, you guys are the elite of the elite in the industry. I mean, above and beyond, it's like, wow.
But I'll tell you what, Sam, and you know this, you know, Waterford, when I was growing up in Waterford back in the 70s, it was one kind of community. Now, the homes there, and the price of homes, and the price of real estate, people want a really nice home in the country, and that's
Yeah.
a perfect place to have it.
It is.
And when you have a home like that, you want quality paint, you want quality work on a home like that.
Sure, yeah, yep.
Not the old days of the car on blocks in the backyard, like when I was growing up.
Exactly. Still a few of those places that.
There's
yeah,
a few
they're all
rednecks
gone,
left.
yeah.
Shout out to Matt Sodi, holy smicker, what's up, fellas? That's awesome. Dude, remember, I invited you onto the show, waiting for you, Matt. Let's do it, bro.
You gotta do it, man.
So, but it's true that people think that we're high in price. JKS Finishes, Sam Catania Painting. No, we're where the market should be at.
Correct.
It allows us to do the best job we can possibly do and
Yeah.
hold to a certain standard.
Yeah.
Right.
If you think we're high in price, you might wanna consider the ones you're calling previous or after us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You might wanna consider looking into them.
Well, you know what?
Dig a little deeper.
You know what might be helpful with that, to generalize, you know, in 2023, is the fact that you can go online and see people's Yelp reviews and see the reviews of services they got. And after a couple years, you know, well, I wish I'd kind of gotten a better contractor for whatever job.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, this is your home here. This is not something to mess around with or cheap out.
Well, the big thing is too, is like Sam was shouting out to his employees, they make our companies.
They do.
And
They do.
we handpick good quality people.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about things missing out of your house. I mean, I've been around for 35 years, so I've seen.
I didn't think you were
people-
that old. I didn't even think you were 35.
Oh,
You look
you are-
phenomenal.
well, you're funny, Sam. So that's what makes us the companies that we are. So
Yeah.
they're vitally important. We handpick the good quality people.
Right.
And you can trust them to come in and do a good quality job.
We're talking about wages. On the
Right.
way down here, we're sharing wage information, and I said, we pay, both of us pay incredibly well.
Right.
You know, we do. I mean, if you're bringing another painting contractor in, and I'm gonna use just dumb numbers, it's $2,000 cheaper than us, consider something. Are they legal? Is everything legal? Do they have
Right.
their liability insurance? Do they have their
Right,
workman's
yeah,
comp?
that's huge.
Right.
Is everything legal? If they're $2,000 cheaper than us, we don't gouge.
Right.
Sorry, people, we don't gouge. There's a reason they're $2,000 cheaper. Do they not take care of their employees? Are they not paying their employees well enough?
You know, it's funny you bring that up because on another radio station next door about an hour ago, I was talking to Christina, who owns the Donato's Pizza franchise
yeah.
in Freetown. And do you know her employees, in a pizza shop, her employees have benefits and a 401k?
Wow.
Now, do you think those people have a better commitment at work and serve, the people better and have a better attitude than those who are treated like, here's your minimum wage and get out of here?
Right.
The cars they deliver in are owned by Donato's, so it's not the kids using their parents' cars.
Sure.
I understand that people gotta make a living, but those employees will behave differently, and the same with
Yes.
your employees.
Absolutely.
We both offer a
Yeah.
benefit package,
Mhm.
401k, everything,
Yeah.
yes. And shout out to Cody Brace, owner of Keystone Detail.
Yep. How you doing, Cody?
He hit us up. So, it's true, if somebody's coming in that much cheaper than us, look into it, people.
Yeah, look into
There's a
it.
reason,
Right.
look into it.
You have the resources now, that's what I'm saying, you can read reviews,
Yes,
you
we
can,
take
find
care of our
out.
employees.
Absolutely, and the
They
liability.
don't leave, Jeff.
Right.
They don't
exactly.
leave.
Yeah. You're right.
It's
yeah.
awesome. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's-
They're so loyal to us.
Yeah, and make sure that they have liability and workers' comp,
Mhm.
because if they, God forbid, get hurt on your property without insurance, you're gonna be liable.
Yeah,
I tell everybody all the time, customers, if you call somebody in that's a lot cheaper than us, I respect you going with them, but do your research, make sure you have all the paperwork up front. Don't let them in your house without knowing that they are 100% legal and covered.
Correct.
oh, yeah, that's
And if they're
huge.
that much cheaper, how are they that much cheaper? We're not price gouging, we're pricing what the job should cost.
Well, and you guys know, obviously, a universe more about paint than I'll ever know, but, you talk about the lack of adequate prep work, with some of the price gougers. Are they also using cheaper products?
Absolutely.
They
The
are,
cheapest-
okay.
The cheapest usually they can get,
Okay,
and then, yeah.
We
okay.
both use very
Well,
high-end products.
Yeah, and that's, again, it's not something you're gonna be happy about in just a few years when those cheap products show their quality, and it doesn't take long.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, Sam's been in the business 17 years, I've been about 35 years, so we're competitive in the market, or else we still wouldn't be here.
Mhm.
So-
Correct.
So we're charging a fair dollar.
Yeah.
For what you get. It's like any product. You can buy a Yugo that they used to have, or you can buy a
Sure.
Cadillac. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a reason you pay what you pay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's across the board. You get what you pay for, as they go set and go.
And I tell
Yeah.
people, we're not a cheap date. We're going to thoroughly do the job the right way. Now, when I opened, we were a cheap date. To-
Yeah,
to
yeah,
talk-
that's the
We were
start.
a cheap
That's
Gotta
date.
get your foot in the door.
Hey, everybody starts that way.
Yeah.
Really, you do.
And Jeff has, we've sat behind closed doors lots of hours, and he's adjusted. All right, here's what you need, here's what you're doing here, adjust this, change this, make this. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is, it's better than schooling. It was amazing, my life lessons.
well, on that note, how did you get started doing this 35 years ago?
Worked in general construction and then worked at GE for about 5 years through the Rust Belt years,
Mhm.
laid off for a year, and a half. I didn't like shop environment work. I had a best friend that was in the painters union, he wasn't working a lot. I had some background and we got in business together as a
Yeah.
partnership. I was gonna do handyman work and he was gonna paint, and we ended up getting a few contacts, and actually painting took over the whole business. And then we were in business for approximately 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a successful commercial painter.
Okay.
And does very well. He pays as well. People, in that market, he's well known. And so he went his separate ways and I went my separate ways. And we just, my goal from the beginning was to be the best painting contractor in Erie County and Crawford County, because most of the top-end painters were always a 1 or 2 man show.
Yeah,
They were custom painters. I tried to find and handpick top quality employees that could produce a very top quality product at a competitive price, but do a bigger volume. So they would be literally in somebody's house maybe for 6 months.
Mhm.
We could go with 3 or 4 good quality people, produce the same product, but be in and out of their house in, say, 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
So,
which is a huge benefit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so, such a disturbance. you
yeah,
know?
well, yeah, I mean, I literally talked to people that had a couple of the old timers, would basically live in their house. They'd come and
Yeah.
eat breakfast with the wife, I mean, they said they'd literally be there 3 to 6 months on a whole house repaint. So-
Yeah.
Oh,
So we were, even with Sam, we tried to get in and get the job done and expedite it.
Here's where Jeff and I are different, and we laugh about it. Everybody knows, and if you don't know this, welcome to Erie, Pennsylvania. Everybody knows that I'm a complete advertising and branding
Yeah.
whore.
Yes, we all know
I
this.
love it. I love Sam's work. That's
And
true.
Jeff is the opposite.
Absolutely.
He doesn't want to be known.
No,
He's like,
yeah,
keep me out in the woods.
Yeah.
Yep,
I do some low-key advertising.
right.
I couldn't even tag you on any of my social media sites.
No.
I put this on 1.37 million different sites.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
I can't find Jeff anywhere.
I'm an old dog.
Really?
I know. I mean, I just gave up social media for Lent, 40 days, you do it all the time.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
But you know, like hearing both you gentlemen talk reminds me of something. Sam interviewed me a couple weeks ago, God knows why, but he did. And I didn't bring this up, but I think you'll understand what I'm saying. When I got into this business, it's like I didn't do it to get rich, which would be nice, but didn't happen. To get rich, or even to be number one, but I wanted people to say, he belongs on the radio. He's a professional at what he does. That
Yeah.
was, I didn't want to be the coolest DJ in town, I didn't want, it was like, no, I want people to say, that guy knows what he's doing. And it seems like both of you had that same idea, like you wanted people to see your work and say, that's a pro.
Correct.
It took
Yeah.
us a long time to find our way.
Yeah.
It really did. We had, like, that's a perfect way of wording it, hard knocks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, we all have that.
We had, honestly, about 10 or 11 years, maybe into 12 years of hard knocks. They say if you make it 5 years, you're good. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We struggled for our first 12 years. It wasn't until about 5 years ago, I finally started to develop a system and say, hey,
Yeah.
all right, Jeff was right, this works. It's
Yeah.
hard.
Oh, I
It's
can't,
really
being an
tough.
entrepreneur, I mean, you guys are my heroes. I can't imagine having the guts to do it, really. It's gotta be, because there's so many uncertainties and so many scenarios that could play out you don't know. And you gotta be on your feet all the time.
Yeah, especially in Erie. Erie's a very competitive, tough market.
Yeah.
We're a shrinking market, unfortunately.
Right.
I think it's the best kept secret in the country, but, yeah, you have to stay on top of the game and you have to be on your toes, and it's a way of life, it's not a job.
No,
Yes.
it's not.
You live it,
Yeah.
if
You
you're gonna
do.
be successful.
We've talked about that,
Yeah,
and it's a lot of behind the scenes. People don't see that.
no,
People only see what went in front and center.
Absolutely.
Right.
They don't see that. They don't see what takes place behind the scenes. Oh, he doesn't work. He's got painters.
Mhm.
You kidding me? I
Right.
put in so many hours, it's unheard of.
Sure
You're
you
not
do.
gonna see them.
Of course you
I'm
do.
not gonna brag about it because it's a lifestyle, like you said.
correct.
And you wouldn't believe how many painting contractors are in Erie, Pennsylvania. It would rock your world. You don't even know this. I bet you don't even know this. I don't know the exact answer, but I know the answer that was given to me from the paint stores. We were checking into it, and I could come up with myself maybe 40 if I really dig deep and hard and think about it.
Yeah.
They said just over 200. I said,
Oh,
are you
really?
kidding me?
Really?
Is there that
Yeah.
many? I didn't realize that.
PPG and Sherwin-Williams together, I talked to multiple people, and nobody can come up with an exact number, but they said not over 200 people,
Right.
company names.
Wow.
I didn't
And
That
they
is a
said-
competitive market.
They said it's you don't see them, you're not gonna see them, so every time I did it yesterday on an estimate, who am I betting against? I don't want their numbers,
realize. Right.
I want their names, I wanna know if I recognize them, I do it
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
tell me X, Y, Z, you know,
Yeah.
really?
sure,
Who's that?
sure.
Yeah, it's really cool, because most people can only name about 6 of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
I would say so, that's about how many I can name.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Not
it's
many.
intriguing, that, I'm just putting it out there to tell everybody how competitive it is in our industry in Erie.
Yeah.
And how difficult it is that you don't see that.
Right.
You don't
That's true.
realize that. You don't realize the day-to-day battle that Jeff and I have to go through to try to get this job.
Yep,
That is true.
yeah,
And we, like I said, we don't overprice intentionally, we don't price gouge. We put a price out there that is going to cover all the legalities, and we really take pride in taking care of our employees.
right, and our customers.
Right.
Absolutely, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the next step, yes. And it just, there's a certain cost that's required to reach that standard.
Correct.
Okay, very good. Well, we're just about out of time, gents.
Wow, that went
Can
quick.
you believe that, Jeff?
No, I can't.
Hey, oh, I thought we were going till noon.
No, don't say that.
He was nervous, were you?
Absolutely,
You did
yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
You were
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, you were good. That was
It's
good
a
stuff.
company, it's a company that I got to keep.
Well,
Is that,
you know.
yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is a company.
Hanging out with a couple bisons.
All
what
right,
do you
Yeah.
so when am I on
absolutely.
again? When am I on again?
I
You tell
don't,
me.
when are you, I think you're on again.
Monday.
Monday, yes.
Monday?
After Sue Weber, after the great Sue Weber.
The great Sue Weber.
Yes.
The Sue Weber Show.
She's the great one. She truly is.
She is good.
All right,
Unstoppable.
Catania
Yeah.
Chronicles signing off.
Awesome.
Isn't that?
Thank you.
All right.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
It was a
to
pleasure
meet you.
meeting you. My hands are cold.
That's just hilarious thing.
Yeah.
Dagway in the old days, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I really feel fortunate, blessed to be able to hold on to the property for a while.
Yeah, that's cool.
But we fixed it up and got it back. It was starting to fall apart.
We did so much fishing there.
Oh,
And I would go down there with, you know, my fishing pole and pack of cigarettes.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Sit there all day.
Oh, yeah, there's
Back when I
kids-
smoked.
Yeah, there's kids that still, they'll
I
go
bet.
fish off the bridge or go
I
down
bet.
below it.
You can't, I
It's
mean,
awesome.
Waterford kids are gonna be Waterford kids.
Yeah.
You just can't, they're gonna be on ATVs